All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Las Vegas Raiders rookie running back Ashton Jeanty making his regular season NFL debut, and it was a good all-around one from the young Raiders back. Not just running the football, receiving, blocking, doing the little things to help the Raiders get a victory. We knew he was a good runner, but he's a complete playmaker. We'll break down everything he did so well. As always, in the comment section below, give us any feedback you might have. If you're a fan of these film reviews and want us to do more of them, consider becoming a member of our channel to help support us. We'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's open up the running play, and there, of course, is Genty right there at running back to the left of Geno Smith. So we're going to get an inside zone concept here for the Las Vegas Raiders. Tackle's going to work out. Guard's going to work out. We're going to get a zone double team right here working up to the next level. Backside scoops right here. We're going to get Brock Bowers in motion pre-snap to try and kick out the end man on the line of scrimmage. And Genty right here, he's just going to try and follow his blockers inside where we can find a hole, whether it's right here, whether it's cutting it back, whether it's bouncing it if he can, wherever he can find a way and to get into the end zone. And folks, not particularly well blocked here by the Raiders. When Brock Bowers comes in motion, he doesn't really block anybody. It's sort of a mess of humanity. But the young running back does a great job finding a way through the hole to get a score. Let's check it out. There's motion. There's a snap. Nowhere really to go. Keeps running his feet, driving his feet. Score. Good run. Let's go back to the very beginning and break this down. In terms of blocking here, right center not doing a great job. 14 flashes. Brock Bowers right there, you can see in motion. He doesn't really block anybody. You can see on the backside here, they don't really get anybody cut off. It's such a mass of humanity. It looks like a run for no gain. But don't tell number two that. Fights through the trash, keeps working, keeps running his feet, and scores. Again, he at the very beginning, you could see where he's trying to run. He sees this hole right here, but he sees 14 flash. So what does he do? Gets skinny and then keeps running his feet. One of the underrated aspects of this guy coming out of Boise State, again, he was such a productive runner, made so many people miss, so many long runs, is that he's kind of nifty in short yardage goal line. He's very creative. He finds a way to convert. Didn't have a perfect set, of course. He fell down, I think, in a 3rd-and-1 situation later in the game. But right here, this is an example of what he can bring to the Raiders the rest of his career and certainly the rest of the season. Smart, savvy, hard, great run here from Genty. After the wide copy, you can see right there, there's Bowers come in motion. He doesn't really block anybody. I mean, it's just a mass of humanity, and somehow the Raiders score. You get a running back with leg drive who's smart, who's creative, knows how to get thin. Again, he's a big dude, right? This is not a tiny little running back that just kind of goes unnoticed, right? Everyone's trying to tackle him. You can see this mass of humanity, and then he just sneaks through, extends for a touchdown. Here's the other thing I really like. See how high and tight he keeps the football the entire time, right? There's no risk of a fumble. He's not careless with it. Only at the very end does he extend, and even then it's still high and tight. So protecting the football in the red zone, that's something you have to do, of course, and Genty does it here. Good hard run. Nice play from the rookie. All right, how about a little pass protection? There's Genty right there just to the right of the quarterback. And right here, this is the 3rd and 20 that essentially iced the game, giving the Raiders the victory. What the Patriots are trying to do here is they're trying to slant this defensive end inside to pull the tackle down and have this linebacker blitz. And they say, listen, our linebacker on a rookie running back, we like that matchup right here. But guess what? Number 2, he's up to the challenge. As 51 comes, he steps up, delivers a great block, stays with him. Geno Smith's able to buy a little time and complete a big ball down the field to move the chains and essentially win the game for New England. But it starts with pass pro from the rookie. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. Genty steps up, delivers the block. Quarterback scrambles, throws it deep down the field. Big completion, 1st down. Another rookie right there. I tell you what, good young Raiders team. A lot of pieces. Let's look at Genty right here. Good technique, aggressive, but not too aggressive. Sometimes running backs, and I don't mind sometimes when they just try and dive and throw their helmet in there just to try and get a piece of these linebackers when they're blitzing. But if you're too aggressive and you whiff, that can hurt the quarterback too, obviously. So you want to make sure you stay with them. You want to attack the line of scrimmage with good fundamentals. Look at that, right? Looks like a guy who's pass blocked before in his life. I tell you what, Genty, right away, fundamentally sound, good footwork, drives the linebacker inside. This is exactly what you want. He did this multiple times against the Patriots. Great blitz pickup. Bright future in terms of a complete player for the Raiders at the running back position.
Yeah, and again, we talk about one thing that Ashton Jeanty, not necessarily known as a pass blocker, wasn't the best in college, but I think we're seeing some flashes. I think he's doing some really good stuff here for the Raiders. I'd like to see more plays like this. I think he had, looking at his grades, not like an outstanding game, but I think you see here a rookie doing some really, really good stuff in the pass blocking game. So that's what you like to see. He's a willing blocker, doing the right thing. So early on, great stuff from Ashton Jeanty in the pass blocking game.
All right, going back to the running game here, interesting concept here for the Raiders. So we're going to get two double teams here, right here, working up to the linebackers right here, linebacker right there, tackles base blocking, tight end base blocking. We're going to bring the receiver around to kind of lead through the hole, right? Have a receiver, slot receiver do that. That's a little interesting. We're going to get a lot of counter motion right here to try and get flow from the linebackers. It's a play here. The Patriots do a decent job defending, but I want you guys to watch Genty and how many yards he gets after contact. This is what he was known for in college, and this is why he's such a weapon for the Raiders with the ball in his hands. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap, double team attempts. Myers leading through the hole. Genty falls forward for a nice run. Let's look how many yards after contact he gets, right? So he gets the handoff. Where is he first contacted? Right there, okay? Contacted again, falls forward. 6 yards after contact. How many Patriots get a hand on him? Let's count, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the sixth guy helps bring him down. That's half the defense, more than half the defense. For any of you guys mathematically challenged at home, 6 out of 11 is more than half. But I tell you what, this is what you get from Ashton Jeanty. Good, hard, physical running. One guy can't bring him down. It's the old cliche that announcers talk about all the time. But with this running back, it is 100% true. Because the Patriots, they've got arm tackles right there. If you watch this play, 99 running backs out of 100, they fall down into a 3-4 yard run. Hey, good play. For Ashton Jeanty, he gets the handoff. He breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles, 4, and then falls forward. It's a 6.5 yard run. It's an extra 2 to 3 yards, right? It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it's a difference between maybe 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 is a whole lot easier than 3rd and 6, obviously. Again, for those of you who aren't mathematically challenged, 6 is less than 3. Makes sense. So we look at Ashton Jeanty. This is the hidden value. It's these yards after contact, these physical runs downhill. Pretty solid blocking up front from the Raiders. Not perfect, but getting some movement inside. Like to see that. Again, the Raiders are going to be a physical team, and I think Ashton Jeanty right here is going to be leading the charge. All right, from the wide copy, you get a really good look at the yards after contact, right? Like they got him at like the 29, and he falls all the way, to the 24? We're talking 5+ yards after contact. The Patriots have him right here. I mean, you watch the broadcast footage live, you're like, okay, 2 or 3 yard run. Okay, maybe a 4 yard run. Wait, it's a 6 yard run? I mean, he's breaking tackles of linemen and linebackers, right? This is 14. That's Spillane. He's a veteran linebacker. Raiders fans, you know all about him, right? And he breaks through. I know it's an arm tackle, but still, how about this defensive lineman at the point of attack right here? Breaks through the tight end block. He's got an arm on him, right? You have all these guys that are big, strong, physical dudes, and Ashton Jeanty, a rookie's like, I don't care, right? Spillane's mortgage, all these guys' mortgages, right? The ability to, buy their new Camaros or whatever these kids are driving these days is dependent on making these tackles, and Ashton Jeanty doesn't care. He just runs through them. He's a special kind of back for the Raiders. All right, let's switch to the passing game. You can see Genty right there to the left of Geno Smith. This is a check-the-box kind of play. Not a highlight play, but this is something you have to do at a running back, and this catch the ball out of the backfield. Very simple concept. He's going to release and go out in the flat and kind of an out route. And this is something, again, it's not a highlight film kind of play. It's not going to draw accolades, but you have to be able to do this and do this cleanly to get the defense to respect it. The young running back does. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. Genty releases. Geno Smith hits him. Falls forward. Good 4 or 5 yard play. Again, it's not a highlight play. No one's going to really care. No one's going to get a lot of attention, right? But it's one of these things where you just have to do it. You have to check the box. You got to get open. You got to catch the football. And look, we'd love for you to maybe break a tackle. But even if you go down, just the threat of a running back that can do it. Because right here, if you're the Patriots, you're like, okay, he could run it inside. So we got to prepare for that. He's also a good pass protector. But when he can release out of the backfield directly, I mean, this isn't a check down situation, right? This is a quick release, get the ball out of his hands. It's not a screen, nothing like that. Now it's something else that defense has to prepare for and account for going forward. It just makes teams even more challenging when they have to play the Raiders, how much work they have to put into the game plan for number 2. Again, a box you have to check, and Genty checks the box.
Yeah, and can you talk about checking the box? I think Genty did everything they asked of him in this game as far as it came to receiving. He had 2 targets. He caught both of them. So, I mean, what more could you want? Not a whole lot of stuff going on as far as the receiving game, not giving you opportunities to make any big plays, going towards sideline, guys right there. But when given the opportunity, he caught the ball. Really good stuff from Ashton Jeanty.
All right, sticking with the receiving game, you can see Genty right there to the right of Geno Smith. Really weird formation because you got Mayer right there in the backfield as sort of a fullback, kind of halfback. You got Bowers over here, right? Another tight end over here. Really interesting situation. It's going to be a play fake, and they're looking to throw it deep. Unfortunately, no one's open. So this is a situation where Genty is the check down. And again, he makes a play. Just another box you have to check. On the previous play, he was sort of the designated target. Here he's the check down. Does a good job with yards after contact. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Play action number 2. Looking deep, pressure, has to hit the check down. Genty gets the football, makes a man miss, runs hard, falls forward. It's what it's all about. Again, when the defense plays well and you still get a positive play on offense, that's winning football. The Patriots defense played well. Good contain on the quarterback. Pressure. They covered well down the field. Has to hit the check down. Guys right there. This is a winning play for the Patriots defense. Actually not. Genty turns it into a winning play for the Raiders offense. Little things like this. Again, difference between maybe 2nd and 9 and 2nd and 4. Difference between settling for a field goal and scoring touchdowns. Difference between winning and losing. It can come down to plays like this. This is a good play from the defense. Pressure on the quarterback. Good contain in the pocket. Good coverage. Position right there to make the play. Genty makes one guy miss and falls forward on a couple other guys. Good hustle from the Patriots. It's not like this was a disaster here for New England, but Genty again overcomes the well-played defense here and makes a better play for his Raiders offense. All right, from the wide copy, you're going to see the fake right here to Genty. Geno Smith looking down the field, nowhere open, hits the check down. Again, running back makes one guy miss, falls forward for a nice 5-yard gain on first down, 2nd and 5. Again, difference between winning and losing, guys. Right here, Geno Smith's looking to the end zone. Anyone open? No, they got it covered. Good job by the Patriots. Again, sometimes this happens. Sometimes the defense wins. They got good players too. Right here, though, you've got a better player. Linebacker dead to right. It's going to be a no gain kind of play. Instead, makes a miss, turns it into a 5.5 yard gain. 2nd and 5, a whole lot better than 2nd and 10. And sometimes, guys, over the course of a season, if quarterbacks and offenses can't trust these kind of plays to happen, they force it and you get interceptions. That's what happens, right? One of the problems with Geno Smith last year in Seattle is he couldn't trust his teammates, his running backs, his tight ends very much. He forced the ball in the red zone. Right here, going forward for the Raiders in 2025 and beyond, won't have to, because if he's got pressure, if no one's open, hey man, just throw it to number 2 and he'll create something for you. All right, quick break in the film review. Look, I was taught to break down film by my college coaches at the Division I level. All the players are. It's just a fact of playing football at that level. And I want to take this opportunity to give you guys, the average fan, more opportunities to get that insider knowledge of how the game is taught at that highest level of college football. I created a checklist, a step-by-step guide for you guys, 100% free. That's based on how I was taught to break down film by my coaches and that I use today to create these film reviews. There's a link in the description box below that'll take you right to it. I really appreciate it if you guys decide to get it. Again, 100% free, just trying to share information to you guys, stuff that was taught to me by my coaches. But without further ado, let's get back into the film. All right, going back to the running game, and there's Genty once again in the shotgun to the left of Geno Smith. Look, this is a well-blocked play and a poorly defended play from the New England Patriots. So we're going to get an inside zone concept work in this direction. Tackle's going to work out. Guard's going to pick up the defensive end. We're going to get the center reach here. We're going to get good scoops right here. Running back's just going to hit this hole for a nice play, right? It's an open hole. It's a big seam. But one of the things you want from a running back is when the opportunity is there, don't screw it up. Young running backs, they get a little too cute, a little too clever. Listen, man, just hit the hole and finish hard. That's what everyone wants from a running back. Certainly offensive linemen want that from a running back. Genty does it here. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. There's the inside zone. There's the hole. Run hard, finish hard, fall forward. That's what you want. Again, this is well blocked, poorly defended, or well blocked, however you want to call it, or both. This is what you want from Genty. Run hard, run fast. Outrun a guy and fall forward. That's what it's all about, right? You don't have to get too cute, right? You don't have to right here try and bounce it and turn it into a 50-yard run attempt, or right here you don't have to try some funky cut back or slow it down. Put your foot in the ground and fall forward. Get to turn 1st and 10 to 2nd and 1, or move the chains right here. This is what it's all about. One of the things young running backs do, I say it all the time, and it infuriates me, is they get a little clever, right? They say, oh, I'm going to try and turn this into a touchdown. Listen, it's the NFL. You can't do that, right? Fall forward. Turn a 1st and 10 into a 2nd and 1, which is exactly what Genty does here. Play physical, play tough, stay ahead of the chains. This is the NFL. Football is hard. Offense is hard. Make it easier for you. Love the way Genty plays. Good, physical, hard-nosed runner, falling forward.
Yeah, Nick, and we talked about rushing all this cut up. We've talked about how hard of a runner he is, how great of a runner he is, and you brought up yards after contact. Really interesting point here. Genty had 19 carries for 38 yards this game. Guess how many yards were after contact? And it sounds a little bit crazy because he lost some yards at some point, but 44 of the yards were after contact. This is a guy that every yard that he had pretty much, for the most part, was some sort of contact before the play. He was not running clean a lot, just a guy that it was really tough sledding. So despite all that, a great performance by Genty. Really good runs. I think this was a testing performance, but they get the win, and he gets to go on to next week. I think we're going to see a lot better performances from Ashton Jeanty.
All right, let's end on another running play. It's, again, the design cutback concept we saw before. So the tackle is going to base block there. We're going to get a double team inside up to the linebacker, double team attempt here up to the linebacker, tight end basing out. Jacoby Myers, the slot receiver, he's going to come around the formation and lead in the hole. We're going to get a counter step here from number 2 from Genty, and then he's going to follow his lead blocker through just like that. And again, you talk about a good patient run, setting up his blocks. The hole is there, guys. There's a little bit of a crease there, and it's a good, well-blocked play here by the Raiders. But Genty does a good job setting up one more block that allows him to cut behind for a successful run. Again, a smart runner, a hard runner, a patient runner when necessary, checking every single box in his debut. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. There's Myers leading the way. Good block. Cuts inside. See how he follows his block? You see number 10, Thornton, come across the formation here. He's waiting for him to clear it and then goes right behind him. That timing of that, guys, that's intentional. Now, you can see the linebacker ends up making the tackle, but Genty, again, finishes hard. My goodness gracious. Where's the initial contact? How about yards after contact? Bang, right at the 37. Where does he go down? The 34, it's plus 4 yards after contact. Love to see that. But he's patient. Right here, he doesn't react too quickly. He lets his block set up. Then he puts his foot in the ground. And then right here, he kind of throttles it, waits for number 10, and then tries to finish hard because he's one block short. This is one of the things where if you're the center right here, I believe it's 61 or whoever, I think, 61. If you get a little bit more on that linebacker and he's able to work through this trash, I think he's able to fall forward for an extra 10 yards, splitting these safeties a little bit here. But otherwise, well-blocked play. Really good run from Ashton Jeanty. We showed it this entire cut-up. He's physical, tough, falls forward, yards after contact, but he's also versatile. He's patient. He takes advantage of when the holes are there, and when the holes aren't there, like on the touchdown, he can get creative and crafty to score. Catching the ball out of the backfield, blocking. He's a do-it-all playmaker and a great rookie for the Raiders.